I'm here to give you some unconventional waiver wire wisdom heading into week 15 for the fantasy football playoffs to help you win your league. I don't want to waste your time after all with other content that's just going to be regurgitated over and over again. If you want to see a waiver wire column that's actually useful that you can read, it's Justin Boone's at Yahoo Sports. He's one of like 3 or 4 experts that I actually really trust. He's number 1 ranked on Fantasy Pros expert accuracy rankings so far this year, but has he won 36% of all his fantasy football leagues last 20 plus years? And honestly, the Fantasy Pros expert rankings is not nearly as legit as the one I'm building on fansports.com right now. But let's go look at his top 10 guys up here. Obviously, everything depends on positional needs that your roster is looking for, but at the same time, I have no problem putting Chris Rodriguez number 1. He's a guy I've highlighted for weeks and weeks now. Looks like the featured running back in an offense that will be up-tempo and has some friendly matchups for the rest of the year. The only thing is I give him a slight downgrade in PPR. He has a little bit of a lower floor there, more touchdown dependent, because he's not going to get many receptions. Justin Boone, for some reason, never puts QBs in this top 10, but I have JJ McCarthy there for sure. I told you guys, got a lot of hate for it last week that he could be solid sneakily down the stretch. After that, I'm looking at CJ Stroud, Marcus Mariota, and Shedeur Sanders, probably in that order, but it's close. I understand putting Bam Knight at number 2. He's been solid, but definitely Blake Corum goes above him for me. Blake Corum was in Nesto's crystal ball last week. I hope you guys played him. I told you guys he had a chance to break out based on the fact that they're looking to rest Kyron Williams up so that he's fresh for the playoffs. And even if there's some tough matchups against the Lions and Seahawks coming up, I wouldn't worry too much. I would still roll with Corum over a lot of these guys. I also have Luther Burden as the top wide receiver pickup this week. He looks like the number 1 wide receiver potentially in a solid offense on a solid team. Luther Burden has some of the best separation scores and targets per routes run of any wide receiver when he's getting opportunities, and now he's going to finally get them, assuming that Roma Dunze's out another week. You can see my rankings alongside expert rankings for all these guys, by the way, for week 15 only at fansports.com. I talked about Harold Fannin Jr. all season long. For me, he is much higher in the tight end ranks than expert consensus and has been since the preseason. If you need a tight end, he's number 1 on this list over everyone. I like Jaden Reed too, even though he gets the Broncos. This is a fat guy who plays mostly in the slot, and I think that the Broncos are a little bit more susceptible to guys like him who play in the slot, so I think he's, of all the Green Bay wide receivers, maybe the best play against the Broncos at least. Colston Loveland is a better rest of season guy if you feel confident or have a bye this week, but I think Isaiah Likely is a better play against Cincinnati this week. I've highlighted a lot how Cincinnati has no ability to guard tight ends. He was highlighted Isaiah Likely, by the way, in Nestor's crystal ball last week. Devin Singletary at number 9 is a good perspective add. He has some low-end flex value if Tyrone Tracy Jr. is healthy, which I expect him to be, but at the same time, he elevates above a couple of guys if he's going to be the main guy this week. Honestly, I have him above even Chris Rodriguez Jr. in PPR leagues if he's starting against Washington. Talked about Jalen Coker before. He's all right, but at the same time, I prefer other wide receivers like Adonai Mitchell still, even after last week's stud. Ryan Flournoy also gets a boost above him if we see CeeDee Lamb out. We also should go and get Jalen Wright. If you're looking for a guy who could be a top 10 to 15 RB this week, he's your guy if Devon Achane is out. That's the main gist here. Go to fansports.com if you want to see my streaming rankings, my weekly rankings, the new start sit feature that I'm going to get to work on hopefully late tonight after my kids are asleep. I'll make another crystal ball video about who you guys should stash for week 16 if you're on bye or looking 1 week ahead. Thank you guys for spending a few valuable minutes of your day with me here. Stay learning. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.